Hello, I'm Elaine Stevens, and I want to welcome you to Art Beat. Hello and welcome to Art Beat, where art is the heartbeat of South Mississippi. I am your host, Elaine Stevens, and today we're standing in the remarkably new and wonderful IP Viking Cafe at the Mary C. O'Keefe Cultural Center in Ocean Springs, soon to be opened. Today you're going to meet Andrew Breland, a makeup artist who will take this face and create a miracle out of it, and you'll also meet a writer by the name of April Parker Knight, who wrote about her harrowing experience through Katrina. Stay with us. We'll be right back after this. And here we are with Art Beat, and you're looking at the before Elaine Stevens. Before that you saw the after, but I'm here with a magician of sorts. This is Andrew Breland, celebrity makeup artist, and as we promised, you're going to see some works of art on this face right here.
Well, Elaine, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start off with a little brightener, and what we're going to do is we're just going to take it right underneath your eye.
Okay.
Every woman needs that. They need that so that the light will catch their eyes underneath, especially if you're getting a little older and you're aging gracefully. And
are you saying I'm fat?
No, not at all. You know, if you just need a little something to brighten your eyes up. And
well, I have to tell you, my greatest secret in the world has been this undercover stuff ever since I started at WLOX, and this has been the thing that keeps you from looking like the night before.
Well, that's always important.
And
for
now
anyone.
in the casino business, you know, we work long hours, so thank you for that. I'm hoping there's an improvement.
Definitely. The next thing I'm going to do is, this is a little trick that most people don't know, but what you do is you take a little powder, and right before you apply the eyeshadows, you put it right underneath the eye. She's going to look a little crazy right now, but only because what you can do with the powder is just simply dust it off if any eyeshadow falls upon her face, and that way she doesn't look like a clown afterwards.
Now, Andrew, how long have you been doing this?
I've been doing makeup artistry for about 3 years.
3 years, okay.
Yes.
And how did you get into this kind of work?
Well, I've always started off here on the coast actually as an actor with all the local community theaters and such, and I started modeling, and when I started modeling they realized that I knew a little bit about art, and they said, well, how about art on the face? How good are you with that? And I said, well, let's take a shot at it, and I ended up doing my first photo shoot doing makeup for Tyler Abear in New Iberia, Louisiana, and he loved my work and started getting me more work, and it all took off from there. So
now I am one of your many celebrities.
Yes.
You're doing makeup on.
Yes, yes,
great.
yes.
I've been wanting to reach that rank and file for quite some time, thank you. So tell me some of the other people whose faces you have worked on.
The other faces I've worked on, one is Laura Herring. You can see her currently in Mulholland Drive, also in Nancy Drew, in The Punisher Derailed. Jill Marie Jones, who is my favorite celebrity and one of my very good friends. She played Tony Childs on Girlfriends for about 6 years. Mm-hmm. And then also Oded Fair, who was in Deuce Bigalow, Mel Gigolo. He was in The Mummy, Resident Evil. And also I've worked with, not doing makeup for, but I've worked with Famke Jensen, who was just a jewel. And she played Phoenix on X-Men and also Ava on Nip Tuck. So.
Well, they do magic on Nip Tucked, boy, don't they?
Yeah, they do. They do much magic.
Well, you have quite a range, so you do men and women.
Yes, yes. You have to in that field because, you know, the camera picks up about everything that you do. And so,
yes, that's what I'm afraid of right now, Andrew.
Well, I tell you what, every woman knows that it's never the finished product until the finished product. So,
it's a metamorphosis, isn't it?
Exactly, it really is.
And for women of the South, this is truly a wonderful thing to have, because our best friends have been our hairdressers for so many years. I never thought that I would be getting my makeup done for Art Beat.
Well,
I appreciate this.
You are certainly welcome, Elaine.
Now, are there some special techniques that you have to use on certain types of faces or types of skin or anything of that nature that could help some of our viewers out there?
Well, the only thing that I know that really has helped a lot of people that most people don't know is what you want to do is use really light colors if you're having problems around the eye area. And I know that the last tip that I gave was focused upon the eye area, and the reason that is because most women, that is what the guys will look at, or the opposite sex. Every opposite sex before a date, people look at eyes.
Eyes are the magic.
And so by putting a little white or a lighter color around the eyes, what it does is it opens it up. Mm-hmm. And so people who put this black eyeliner all underneath their eyes or all around it very heavily, what that does
like
is
me.
No,
but
no,
still,
no.
I like it, you know.
What it does is it shrinks the eye.
It does shrink the eye.
And so,
we've been told that, but we get into a habit with our makeup, don't we?
Yes, we do.
So it takes someone like you to really educate us on some of the newer techniques. And what are some of those techniques that have happened in recent years with makeup? Obviously, the not lining the eyes underneath and closing the eye off is one, and using brightener around the eye. Is there anything, say, for cheekbones or large pores or things of that nature?
For large pores, I mean, Walmart has actually a lot of good stuff. You go in there, and I think that Aveeno and any very natural herbal toner or cleanser will be phenomenal for anybody in any skin tone. A lot of times, the best things are for those that have the all skin types cleansers.
Right.
All right, well, I finished your eyes.
Okay.
And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the powder that I had and just brush it away.
Brush it away, so I won't look like Bozo, right?
Right, and what it has done is it has brightened your
I'll
eyes a
probably
little bit.
never watch this show because I'll be very scared.
Oh, no, never be scared of your beauty.
And I might add that Andrew is here because of our dear friend Romy Simpson at Negrato's Gallery, who does, they do such fabulous things there, and you're going to be working there.
Oh, yes, I am. Right now I'm going to work on your lips, and so I'll talk.
Okay.
Well, what I do at Negrato's Gallery is I'm helping Romy to get the place to where it's more appealing to customers to come in and just have somebody who's there for her to clean, the gallery all the time and rearrange it and make sure things are organized, because she is running around like a chicken with her head cut off doing everything for the coast. Every event, anything you go to that has a silent auction, Romy will more than likely be there with some of her artwork. So she's very dedicated.
I know that. I know that well.
Yeah. But yeah, Negrato's is a great place, and it's been a great lifesaver for me, because I came here and had started my film career, and I just got done acting as Chief Mantia for the Lost Colony in North Carolina, and that was a 4-month contract. And I get here, and Romy, what she does is just, she gives me a job, and I start going at it, and then next thing I know, I am in love with the gallery, and in love with the people I work with, and I can actually continue to meet people for events and continue to do makeup, because Romy is just such an excellent boss that she understands scheduling, which some people do not.
No, they don't. It's true.
So. Right now we have almost finished your lips, and I made sure to pick a lipstick that has a little bit of a shimmer to it, because you have beautiful lips, and so you want to accentuate them and really bring them out. And for women, another thing that you can do is with the lips, you can actually take the liner and make, if you have really small, petite lips and you want to kind of get the whole Marilyn Monroe lip going on, you can you can actually just make your lips larger.
Yeah. Well, I've known that technique for quite some time, but I have to say that you just performed a miracle of keeping me quiet for a few minutes. But a very few minutes. Well, this is such a treat. So can women actually come to Negrato's and visit you there and get your input?
They can come there and get my input, but I think that everybody has their own specific style. I have my own style. Most women would either agree or disagree with my style, and I can actually cater to anybody's, style. And so if people let me have free range, I could do some crazy stuff.
Oh, wow.
But
I hope that's not
no,
right now.
No, not at all, not at all. You would look great going out to dinner there right now.
Oh, thank you. I'm going to Mobile, actually. So.
Well, then you will be ready for that.
Because IP is a large sponsor of Bayfest Festival next weekend, and on October 2nd through the 4th. And so I go there, and we're making big plans for Bayfest, so y'all come on down to Mobile.
If you could close your eyes, please. And one thing that I like to do, and it's not necessarily for everyone, but I like to take the eyelids out just a little bit by just bringing the liner right past the ends of the eyelids where they meet and everything. And that way, what you can do is it makes your eyes kind of have a diagonal look, or a cat eye, as most people call it.
Wasn't that Garbo's secret?
I believe it was.
I read that somewhere. Marlena Dietrich also. So some of the classic styling and makeup still applies, I would take it.
Yes, very much so. Tricks and trades for makeup have been around for, years, and most of it started in theater because, the thing about the white eyes, I actually learned that in theater. I was doing a show once, and I had to make someone look as if their eyes were larger. And so what I did was just took that white and put it on the insides of their eyelids, and sure enough, their eyes looked huge and beautiful.
Now, is there a difference in TV makeup and theater makeup?
There is. There's a large difference. Everyday makeup should be, well, you didn't ask me about everyday makeup, but I'll tell you anyway. Everyday makeup should be a little bit more simple than actual, theater or...
We don't want to go out there looking like a floozy now, do we?
Exactly. Not at all. But your theater makeup is going to be a lot heavier and
right.
Just
because you have to have that visibility from a distance
right.
For the performers and the audience. So
right.
I'm hoping the camera likes this.
Yes, they should. And what we're going to do is we're actually going to do the white eye underneath, or the white eyeliner for you underneath, just to show you how it makes your eyeball look a little bit larger, and it gets those baby beautiful browns to the world.
He knows exactly what to say. Well, I have to tell you, this is quite a privilege. It's like having a reverse facial, yes. Where facial, your face is completely cleansed and all that sort of thing, and now we put on the decorations. So I'll be interviewing April Knight in our next segment, and she'll enjoy looking at me because of Andrew Breland's beautiful makeup artistry.
And of course now I'm making this very, very fast, and so any other clients I would definitely
take a little more time.
Take a little more time.
7-minute segment isn't really long enough to perform everything.
Now what we'll do is we'll put a little blush on you.
Okay.
And you always want to make that just a little high. And I have many jeans that just have makeup all over them.
Well, that's the style now, torn and stained. So.
Exactly, it is. Many people will go to Hollister and such and get torn up jeans and paint all over them. And people ask me how much I spend on my jeans, and I just kind of tell them that, it's just from doing makeup or painting.
It was so unusual for Romy to call me and make this request, but at the same time, somewhat serendipitous, because I'd been looking at some of the wonderful shows that my dear photographer, editor, Phil Richardson has done, and I was thinking, I need help with makeup, and here you are.
Oh, well,
so
thank you for
this is Andrew Breland, everybody. If you've just tuned in, you're watching Artbeat and the magic of makeup artistry. Not unlike painting a canvas, is it?
No, well, it is like painting a canvas.
It is.
It's just like painting a canvas. So.
Well, we're going to be back with more Artbeat and April Knight right after this message. Thank you. Thank you. This is great.
You look good.
How does it look?
Looks great.
Visit Negrato's Gallery and Custom Framing for something extraordinary. Featuring many one-of-a-kind pieces from local artists you know and love. Let our well-trained and certified staff preserve your family heirlooms. Visit us at 2645 Executive Place in Biloxi, or try our website, negratosgallery.com. Customer service at Negrato's, it's not just our job, it's our passion.
Your parents always promised you the very best. Security, comfort, love. No matter what happened, they always led you in the right direction.
I was worried about my mom, so I wanted her to have the quality of life and enjoy her friends. So I steered her in the right direction just like she did me.
Located in Foley, Alabama, Live Oak Village offers assisted living and a reputation for making families happy.
In partnership with the GI Museum in Goshen, Mississippi, we invite veterans of the U.S. military to come tell us their story. We air these stories unedited and unchanged. Tune in to see history through the eyes of those who lived it. Local Heroes, Tuesdays and Fridays, 5:30 p.m. and 11 p.m. If you are a veteran and would like to share your part of history, or if you would like to nominate a veteran, please contact WKFK at 762-0464 or email us at localheroes@wkfk.tv.
Would you like to protect your home and make it more valuable? A to Z Shutter Masters is your local manufacturer of beautiful custom blinds that adds beauty to your home, condo, or business, as well as protect it from the elements. A to Z manufactures locally, so there's no middleman. A large selection, friendly service, and installation in as little as 7 days. A to Z Shutter Masters, 2863 South Pine Street in Foley.
You know, Marge, with today's economy, we better start putting back some money.
Bill, I have an idea. We have a lot of gold, and I heard that Pawn Mart buys scrap gold.
Pawn Mart's a great idea. We could get the money now and put it up for a rainy day.
Take their advice. See either location of Pawn Mart in Moss Point or Pascagoula. Pawn Mart will buy your scrap gold, even broken. Pawn Mart, Main Street in Moss Point next to Title Loans and Check Advance, and South Market Street next to McGregor Rents.
And you're watching Art Beat. My guest today is April Parker Knight. We just left the IP Viking Cafe, and now we're in the lobby of the Mary C. O'Keefe. It's a great place for a writer to get stimulated and talk about their work. April, your work about Katrina and your involvement in the night of the storm is truly harrowing, which happens to be the title of the book.
Right.
So how did it come to pass that you actually started writing the book?
With this particular book, it came about because shortly, well, actually the day of the hurricane, I always did journaling. I always did. So I always have a notebook handy because I'm a writer. That's what I do. That day, I happened to just pick it up, and from the moment the water started going down, immediately as it was fresh in my mind, I just started documenting things. And it actually started as a therapeutic means for me to get through my post-traumatic stress disorder. And then it just went on from there, and something just said, this has got to be a book. People have to know these things.
So you didn't actually start writing at the night of the storm? Were you actually, or you were trying to survive the night of the storm?
Right. As soon as the water went down and things calmed down and I was quiet waiting to be rescued, I started documenting.
Well, as we all know, there are many, many stories out there in South Mississippi about what we all went through during Hurricane Katrina, but I have seldom read excerpts of a book this intense from someone who actually saw it moment by moment coming into her life and possibly taking her life. So at this time, I would love for you to listen to just what April Knight went through on August 29th, 2005.
As I watched out my bedroom window, Hurricane Katrina laid waste to the coast. The water lapped over the shingles of the overhang just under my upstairs bedroom window, and all I could do was think about my escape into the murky, threatening Gulf waters, and hopefully into the branches of the big oak across the street, where I would stay until help came for me. As I continued to watch personal belongings of people from surrounding areas floating by, I noticed a form drifting from in between the apartment buildings across the street. As it got a little closer, I noticed the form was a black man, seemingly hanging onto something, drifting helplessly in the storm surge. This is hard for me to read.
I'm sure it is.
I opened my window and yelled out, "Try to swim to me if you can't. Grab a pole or something and hang on tight." He didn't seem to even understand what I said, although he looked right at me. I watched helplessly as he drifted further away and finally grabbed a small column of one of the apartments. It's evident from the reaction of this man, he's in shock. He was about 100 yards away and not close enough for me to reach out my window to save.
So April, obviously a very emotional experience for you, even reliving that just by reading it now this many years later. I mean, for a lot of us it's many years. For you it seems to be right in the moment. Yeah, right. Do you know if this man made it through the night?
Unfortunately, I wrestled with it and I still see the image every day. Oh. And in 2007 I moved back to the coast from North Mississippi, and I spoke with a lady that I knew, and I had asked her about a particular neighbor in my complex, and I told her about whom I had saw that day, and it bothered me, it haunted me, and she said that this particular neighbor had drowned. And I knew that without a doubt that was him that I had saw that day. So that actually kind of began my healing, although I still see him every day. I won't ever forget that.
So you needed that closure is what you're saying.
I needed to know who it was for some morbid sense of peace. Yes. As you know, I can't explain it, but it put to rest who this nameless person was.
And the belongings that you saw floating around you, what was going through your mind at the time you saw this? Because you obviously didn't think that, as many of us didn't think, this storm was going to be as serious as it was.
Right, because that year, that was one of the years that we had so many bounce around storms.
We did, exactly.
And we didn't know, we got so many false alarms, and we didn't know. Actually, I wouldn't have chose to stay there. I actually fell asleep the night before. The only thing that woke me up was the transformer blew outside, and it was too late. Water was already coming in.
And you live alone?
At the time, it was myself and my youngest son.
Oh, he was with you?
But I had taken him to Ocean Springs.
Okay, so he was
the night before. I came back to move things upstairs, and got so enthralled in the local news, I fell asleep. So
now, as you relive this through this journal, by the way, tell everyone before we move on to another segment of the book, but about the journal that you just found today before Art Beat.
I actually remember putting this in the top of the apartment's been redone since then.
Right.
But when we moved back, I had forgotten I had this journal.
Isn't that something?
So the other day I was cleaning out my closet and happened to look up, and there it was. And I started reading some of it. There's actually somewhere in here, I wish I had marked it, there's a page where I scrawled that if anyone finds this, and I have all my personal information on it and everything. There it is.
Oh my, let's see if the camera can grasp the anxiety levels, the handwriting, and the moment that April was enduring when she wrote down her personal information, thinking maybe this was your last moment.
Right.
And I was reading a little bit about what you were saying to your mother on the phone. I can't talk anymore, the water is rising. Tell us about that.
It was that morning. I don't know how the phones even worked.
Really?
I was doing something in the kitchen. I was on my way up the stairs. The phone rang. It was my mother, and it was the last conversation I had with her before the storm. And she said, you know, I'm really worried about the area you're in. I said, I can't leave now. I said, they have a curfew and there's water. Well, I heard a noise, and as I looked to the front door, there was water already coming under the door. So I said, Mother, I can't talk anymore. I just want you to know I love you. I have to go upstairs now.
Now tell us exactly where you were located within the South Mississippi area geographically.
The apartments are located on just off Main Street on Bradford Street.
Okay.
It was a very new complex. Nobody has ever lived in those apartments.
This is in Biloxi.
Right. It used to be the old Bayou Auguste that was so infamous for a terrible neighborhood.
Right.
And it's absolutely beautiful now. They tore all of that down and rebuilt, and it's absolutely beautiful. So it was a brand new place. I had just been living there 8 weeks when I moved in 2005.
So you lost everything?
I lost everything except what was upstairs.
Right. And thank goodness the journal made it.
Yeah.
Well, tell me this now. You moved, you evacuated, you went thereafter, you went up to North Mississippi. Was it hard coming back to the place where tragedy nearly took your life?
Believe it or not, I did a lot of healing in North Mississippi.
Did you?
The toughest part for me was driving back because I had a separation anxiety. And at the time, my husband and I were engaged, so he had to go in a separate vehicle. But he was wonderful through the whole thing. He would text me, let me know, we're almost there, hang in there. It was fine coming down.
Do you feel that just from having written this book, there's something redemptive about it that you can offer the people that are watching you today as they pick up the book Harrowing? And Tell us where we can get it, by the way.
The book is available online through Amazon.
Right.
It's also can be ordered through Books A Million, and Barnes & Noble will have it in their store next month.
Fantastic.
So it can be easily ordered through Gulf Coast Writers Association. I have a website on there now, and Publish America is my publisher.
Now tell us, the redemptive portion of it, did it help you sort of get back to yourself and sort of forgive the area for having done that to you? I mean, was there anything redemptive about your writing?
I thought one of the most beautiful things out of all the tragedy was that for those few months, those few weeks after the storm, the coast came together as a family, regardless of your race, your financial background, your religious, didn't matter. We were all a family for those few months. That's what rebuilt Mississippi, was the spirit of community.
And hopefully we can stay that way. Yeah. Well, we thank you, April Parker Knight, for contributing the book, The Harrowing. And it was truly a harrowing experience about her night going through Katrina by herself. Come back and see us. When is your next book? We'll look forward to that.
It's a secret.
It's a secret.
I'm working on 2, so.
Well, we thank you for being a part of Artbeat this week. If you have any ideas about what you'd like to see on Artbeat, please email us at wkfk.com. Let me know, and we'll be back with more Artbeat next week. See you then. Thanks so much, Sonia.
I enjoyed it.
My goodness.